Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. Just know that whatever you are doing, whatever you are going through, you will get through it. And remember that you are strong. Today I'm going to talk about a little bit of an accident, and this happened with Jimin on stage in London. Now most people didn't really notice anything, but Jimin did actually speak out about this. Then we have RM allegedly breaking some copyright rules. Sort of. I want to give my thoughts on that. So let's jump into the tape. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about today is, of course, Jimin's little accident. This was something that he had on stage, and I want to clarify this is no one's fault, obviously. No one wants to do this on purpose. Some armies were scared that this might have been dangerous, and then other people were praising Jimin for his professionalism. I will get into all of that here today, so do not worry at all. So let me give some context. Now, the accident that we're going to be talking about today happened at the Wembley Stadium stage in London. He was performing the song Serendipity, and there was a bit of technical difficulties with everything. Just the beginning part of the performance. Basically, the concept of the overall performance was that Jimin was supposed to be in a bubble, and then at a certain point of being in the bubble, he would touch the bubble, it would pop, or really it would just kind of deflate, and then Jimin would of course get out of it. And this was generally how the performance was supposed to look. It looked so cool, but of course people in London didn't get to see that version of the performance. They did not get to see it pop, they more saw it just kind of deflate, and then the bubble just stayed there rather than it being sucked in. I think the majority of the audience definitely knew what was happening and knew that this wasn't supposed to happen, because there was cheering when Jimin touched the bubble, but when it didn't pop or anything like that, the audience kind of stopped cheering. But Jimin of course acted super professional, and he did not make much of a reaction, he just kept singing. He pretty much just stayed in the bubble, and then literally 5 seconds later it started deflating and the staff ran over to pull it off. In which case Jimin picked it up and it quickly got out of the bubble. And he killed the rest of the performance. He slayed, as Zeddy does. It was such a small tiny mistake, but I would totally imagine that Jimin's heart just sunk when that happened. And he was probably a little bit scared or something, maybe not, but I personally would have fainted. You're in the front of thousands of people, and this crazy mistake that just happened, you're like, oh no, am I stuck here? Am I forever just in this bubble now? Do I live here now? And then you have no idea how you're gonna make this look natural and transition to what you were supposed to do. But most importantly, how do you leave the bubble safely at that point? I was looking over on the Tweetster and I saw some people who basically didn't know that anything was wrong. They said things like this: the way I was watching this and didn't know it was a mistake, I thought it was planned. Same, I agree. The way it looked and just the way the performance ended up happening, it went so smoothly. But BTS did have a world tour Love Yourself, Speak Yourself London DVD, and some of these behind the scenes moments started to come out and you were able to kind of hear Jimin talk about this a little bit. And he actually spoke about this particular moment where the bubble was not popping. He said he was not flustered or anything like that. In fact, the moment he noticed that the bubble was not popping, he went ahead and tried to think of ways how he can safely escape the bubble, without making it too obvious that there was a mistake. He said this: I knew I had to decide. Should I rip through the bubble? Do I stand up or do I keep sitting? Those thoughts ran through my head. Then Jimin continued by saying, I decided to remain sitting because the bubble is pretty small. Had I stood up, it would have touched my head and that wouldn't have looked pretty. I thought, okay then, when the right time comes, I'll make my way out somehow. This is definitely a calm and very collective way of thinking. A person with intelligence, things like this. To say I would have freaked out is an understatement. I would have just screamed and started flopping around like a fish. What else am I supposed to do? But it also comes with knowing your team, I suppose. That if there's anything that goes wrong, there is no worries because someone from your team will be out there to help you. Jimin then continues by saying, besides, I knew the stage director had been watching. I had faith that the staff would have figured something out for me. I only needed to wait a bit. So it's great to have wonderful people around and reliable people. I definitely wanted to see overall what the people's reaction to this was, and just generally how armies feel about this. One person on the Tweetster wrote this: anyone else have a mini heart attack when Jimin's fairy bubble did not pop when it was supposed to during Serendipity? I was so scared that our fairy was going to be trapped in there. As scary as it was, he probably wouldn't have been trapped. It looks like there was an opening on the bottom, it was just capped over him, so he could just easily pick it up and pull it off, or just rip it open. It is plastic. Another person wrote this: Jimin's bubble didn't pop. Who does it think it is? This is so funny. It's so true. Who do you think you are for not listening to your cue and doing what your job entails? When you applied and signing up to be a little bubble, you submitted your job application for that, you agreed to your responsibility to go on cue. It's your job to pop so Jimin can go dance. You can't just trap him in there. Joking aside, it is definitely a great moment to be able to see Jimin's professionalism. Just to see how Jimin can react in a situation like this. And just how he's able to handle different things being thrown at him. Most people will probably make it really obvious that there was a mistake. He of course wanted to minimize the mistake as much as possible. And of course still look beautiful. I love it so much, and he of course is very professional. BTS is all so professional. And even though they can't do concerts like this right now, they are still very much doing a lot for us ARMYs. RM was someone who allegedly did break a rule for us ARMYs. Sort of, let me explain. So once the most beautiful moments in life, the game came out, you can imagine that every member would probably want to download it and maybe play it. I mean, if it was me, I would want to download it just to see if it was fun or not, or if there was anything I could do to improve the game, like for glitches and things like that. So I have no doubt that RM probably downloaded it to check out the game. He did immediately start screenshotting, and then he started posting some pictures online. Now, if you normally go to the game and try to screenshot or record or anything like that, you will notice a pop-up or kind of like a message that says you're not allowed to do this due to privacy reasons. I know this not because I tried to do it, but a friend did. So, fine, okay, no one's gonna believe I have a friend. But somehow RM did get these screenshots and decided to leak them or put them out. And I think the big concern is if Big Hit wanted to leak them or put them out themselves, they would have put it out kind of in their official Big Hit or BTS page. It wouldn't just be done by RM alone on Weverse, which is where it was posted, by the way. So the general assumption was that RM allegedly leaked it. He said, "Big Hit rules, yeet." But apparently, according to Twitter, this wasn't the first time that this happened. And people go crazy on Twitter when it does happen. I mean, anytime BTS does something a little bit weird, ARMYs go crazy and decide to trend that. Just so the whole world knows BTS's mistakes, you know? We can't keep a secret, apparently. Next time you see a mistake, you just shush, okay? And apparently, Namjoon going to jail party started trending on Twitter. I mean, that's a bit much. He ain't going to jail, don't you start that. Obviously, it's a joke and it's hilarious. One person on the tweet wrote this. Big Hit, screenshots may lead to violation of the rules that may cause legal issues. RM shares lots of screenshots of the game. Big Hit, ee-oo, 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 ee. ARMYs, ha 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 ha. Hey, we don't mind, and we will probably go and download the game if we know what we're getting into, you know, if we see those screenshots. I love seeing the screenshots, it gets me hype about it, and I don't know, I would like for people to kind of share screenshots in case there's like a moment in the game where you're like super hype about, or you want people's opinions on, or it's just like a crazy, funny, memeable thing, so you want to screenshot it and meme it, and then you can share it with your friends or whatever. I think this only helps the game, but I did see a lot of people online kind of start a joke about this. There were so many of these online, and one person wrote this. Respected at BUS Game Official. RM is posting various screenshots of the game. I kindly request you ban his account, hoping for a favorable reply soon. Now this tweet was done by an ARMY, but no, please stop, oh my god. I think Namjoon is part owner of Big Hit, so he can currently allegedly leak whatever he wants. And it doesn't go against any of the rules. He will be fine. Overall, I don't really think he's done anything wrong. Let the man enjoy his little game. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for your comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over to my Patreon, kind of check that out. I post a lot of exclusive content over there. Content that I can't necessarily post here due to copyright and things like that. So you can get more videos of me over there, like reaction videos. I'll be making music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, also reactions to reality TV shows and all that stuff. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. Link in the top description down below. Anything you contribute over there helps kind of give back to this channel and make better videos and all that stuff. So make sure you go check it out. With that said, there are 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of the video. So click on one of those. See you over there. Bye.